Hi there. Uh, Nice to meet you again. I hope you have a good day today. Okay, let me begin. So, these are the famous economists in the early days in 18th centuries. So, they are very famous in the Australian schools of economics. Karl Menger, Friedrich von Hayek, and Ludwig von Mises. A bit introduction to the Austrian schools of economics. The Austrian schools of economics is a renowned schools of economics of thought that originated in the early 19th century with the works of economists such as Karl Menger, Eugene von Bumbauer, Friedrich von Wieser, Ludwig von Mises, and Friedrich Hayek. I'm sorry if my pronunciation is not correct. So, this school of thought emphasizes the importance of individual human action, subjective value, and the market process as the driving forces behind economic phenomena. So one of the key principles of the Austrian schools is the concept of methodological individualism, which asserts that all the economic phenomena can ultimately be traced back to the choices and action of individuals. So this perspective provides a unique lens through which to analyze economics behavior and market dynamics. So, what is the foundational principles of the Austrian schools of economics? So, one of the foundational principle is subjectivism, which emphasizes that economic value is determined by individual subjective preferences rather than objective measures. So, this perspective acknowledges that individuals have unique and diverse preferences and these subjective valuation influence their economic decision. And then marginalism. So it's another cornerstone of Austrian school, focusing on the marginal utility of goods and services. According to these principles, individuals make decisions based on the marginal benefit or satisfaction derived from the consumption of an additional unit rather than the total utility. So the Austrian school emphasizes the concept of spontaneous order, asserting that complex and efficient social and economic structures emerge naturally from the voluntary interaction of individuals without centralized planning or control. So this notion is often applied to free markets, legal system, and social norm. And time preference, it refers to the valuation of present satisfaction over future satisfaction. The Australian schools places significant emphasis on the role of time preference in shaping consumption, say, in investment decision and interest rates. It argues that time preference is fundamental to understanding human action and economic behavior. So this is Karl Menger. He is renowned for his development of subjective value of subjective theory of value, which revolutionized economic thought. And this emphasizes that value is not inherent in goods or services, but it's rather determined by the preferences and subjective evaluation of individuals. So he is widely recognized as one of the founding fathers of the Austrian School of Economics. In 1871, he published Principles of Economics, which laid the groundwork for the school's fundamental principles. As I mentioned before, Menger's theory of subjective value and marginal utility revolutionized economic thought and significantly influenced the development of modern microeconomics. And he emphasizes, I'm sorry, he emphasizes the role of individual preferences and challenging the labor theory of value prevalent at that time. His contribution to Austrian school, the subjective theory of value, and then formulation of the marginal utility theory. And this theory asserts that the value of good or services is determined by its marginal utility or the additional satisfaction or benefit derived from consuming one or more unit of that good or services. And his insightful exploration of this marginal utility theory, it is challenge classical views of value and exchange and leading to a paradigm shift in economic reasoning within the Austrian school. So Karl Menger also introduced the concept of methodological individualism. It is emphasizing the importance of analyzing economic phenomena from the perspective of individual human action. And this approach focuses on understanding how the decision and action of individuals will drive economic processes rather than attributing agency to abstract entities or collectives. Menger's advocacy for this methodological individualism has deeply shaped the analytical framework of the Austrian school. It is influencing its interpretation of market dynamic and social phenomena. So this is Ludwig von Mises. He is a prominent figure in the Austrian School of Economics and made a significant contribution that have profoundly shaped economic theory and policy. One of his most influential work is Human Action, where the book Human Action, where he elaborated the praxeological method and the role of individual human action in economic. So Mises emphasizes the subjective nature of economic value and its pivotal role in market transaction. He also developed the concept of methodological dualism, distinguishing between the natural sciences and the social sciences. It's asserting the unique methodological approach required for the study of human action. So Mises' advocacy for free markets, sound money, and opposition to socialism greatly impacted the trajectory of Austrian economics, and it influenced the libertarian movement globally. So additionally, Mises advocated for the unhampered market economy and the detrimental effects of government intervention in the form of central planning and price control. He's pioneering a work in monetary theory and the business cycle theory that already provided crucial insight into the causes of economic fluctuation and the impact of monetary policy. So this is Friedrich Hayek. He is a Nobel laureate in economics. He was a key contributor too in the Austrian schools. His seminal work, The wrote of Sheridan warned against the dangers of central planning and advocated for the preservation of individual uh, liberty and free market. So he is the most notable contribution uh, to the Austrian School of Economics. There is his intellectual influence in the school development. Yeah, he focuses on the limitation of human knowledge. This is his book. So it significantly impacted the understanding of relation between economic freedom and political freedom, and higher concept of spontaneous order, which refer to the emergence of complex and beneficial social structure without central direction, has been influential in both economic and social theory. So, what is the role of entrepreneurship in Austrian school? In the Austrian schools of economics, entrepreneurship plays a central role in driving economic activity. So, entrepreneurs are seen as individuals who identify and act upon opportunities in the market. They are the driving force behind innovation, taking on risks and uncertainties to create value in the economy. Entrepreneurship is also viewed as the mechanism through which the market process is coordinated. Through their action, entrepreneurs respond to changes in consumer preferences, resource availability, and technological advancements. Ultimately, it will lead to the efficient allocation of resources and the production of goods and services that meet customer demand, consumer demand. In the Austrian perspective, entrepreneurship involves the ability to anticipate and bear the uncertainty. The profit and loss mechanism serves as a crucial feedback for entrepreneurs, guiding their decision make processes and ensuring that the resources are allocated efficiently and in line with consumer demand. Entrepreneurship in the Austrian school is very dynamic and open to constant creativity and innovation. And through their action, entrepreneurs drive the competition, leading to continuous improvements in product, processes, and technology. Ultimately, it will benefiting consumer and fostering the economic progress. So what is the Austrian business cycle theory? So it is a fundamental concept in Austrian economics that explain how monetary expansion by central banks lead to the misallocation by central misallocation of resources and results in economic boom and then followed by bust. It outlines a sequence of events starting from monetary expansion uh, and it will lead to lower interest bank as bank lend out newly created money at lower rate. So expansionary monetary policies characterized by artificially low interest rates and it increased money supply leads to and then lead to malinvestment where capital is misallocated into unsustainable ventures. And this will result in a boom and bust cycle with a subsequent recession and corrective phase. But this perspective emphasizes the importance of allowing market forces to naturally adjust and correct economic imbalances rather than intervening with further government stimuli. So the theory predicts that this boom is ultimately will result in a recession and economic downturn uh, as the malinvestment are realized. And it has been influential uh, in shaping the Austrian perspective on macroeconomics. And it has been a subject of academic study and a debate. So, what's the comparison of the Austrian school to other economic school? So, this is from neoclassical schools and the Austrian school. The Austrian school focuses on methodological individualism and subjectivism, emphasizing the role of entrepreneurship and spontaneous order and the subjective theory of value. But in the neoclassical schools, it places more emphasis on equilibri- equilibrium, equilibrium mathematical modeling, and the concept of maximizing utility. So, the Austrian School of Economic rejects the use of mathematical models as a mean to predict human action, contradictory with the neoclassical school. They use mathematical models to analyze consumer and producer behavior. In the Austrian schools, they view economy as a complex system that cannot be fully captured by mathematical equation. And it emphasized the importance of subjective human action and how individual perceptions shape their economic decision. But the neoclassical school, they believe that economic phenomena can be adequately captured and analyzed through mathematical models. And it emphasizes rational decision making based on preferences and constraint. But there are criticism of the Austrian school. So the first one is the subjective theory of value, which suggests that value of goods of service is determined by individual preferences rather than any objective measure. And the critics argue that this theory may overlook the broader societal impact and fail to account for the externalities. Another critic is the school's reliance on verbal and conceptual models rather than mathematical and empirical models. And they argue that this approach will limit the school's ability to make precise prediction and test the hypotheses, which are important in the scientific study of economic. And then they question the viability of the Austrian school's ideas in a complex modern economy. Uh, they suggesting that its emphasis on individual action and decentralized decision making, might not adequately address the issues such as market failures, inequality, and macroeconomic stability. So, what's the influence of the Austrian school on current economic trends? The Austrian schools has influenced current economic trends by offering alternative theories and perspective on economic phenomena. So, the difference is it is emphasizes on individual behavior and subjective perception that challenge traditional economic models. And it's been an inspire for new approaches to understanding economic behavior. And then one of the notable impacts of the Austrian school uh, of its promotion of innovation and creativity as a drivers in economic progress. The entrepreneurial insight of Austrian economists have contributed to the prioritization of innovation in modern economics policies and strategies. The Austrian school's advocacy for free markets has influenced current economic trends by shaping policies and discussion around market regulation, trade, and competition. So it emphasizes on the spontaneous order of the market, although it has informed a debates on the role of government intervention in economic activities. Uh, but it's giving a different perspective from the traditional theory. Through its emphasis on individual liberty and personal autonomy, the Austrian school has influenced contemporary economic trends by highlighting the importance of protecting individual rights and freedom within the economic system. So, this perspective continues to shape discussion on social welfare and governance. So this is my takeout from the Austrian schools of economic. I really appreciate any feedback from you. Thank you. I hope you always have a good day.